And we're live. What's up? What's up,
Woohoo!
everybody? How you doing,
What's up?
Alvin?
All right, brother.
Okay.
Hanging in there, actually. I'm
You
in
hanging
pain
in there?
today, but yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm
well,
all right.
he's gonna try to hang with us through the whole show. So,
Yeah,
um, looking forward to a show today. We're going to cover a lot of things that may be, if you've never watched the show before, this will be covering items that help or impact your streaming. So we'll talk about a lot of different topics. We'll talk about some tech stuff. We'll talk about media and some things that may impact your bills and stuff like that on your streaming. So we jump around there. We may have Turks may jump into the show. I send him a link and we'll see. He's on the road and he may jump in. And so we normally start the show with a little roll call.
yep.
Yes. We started with a roll call and kind of give a shout out to the people that come and join us live. These are people taking time out of their day, and we appreciate you hanging out with us live. So we got Eddie hanging with us and Red's hanging with us. Michael, nice to see you. Shrinking Sharon, nice to see you, my dear. Just talked to her I think it was this morning, might have been yesterday. Nookie, what's up? Sohail, what's up? How are you? Another
Yeah,
long time watcher out of what did that? It's Portugal, wasn't he?
Portugal.
Yeah. Bama fans hanging with us. Mr.
Yeah,
Skulls, the Skull playlist. He's hanging with us today. Nice to see him. Good to be with us. And we're also being simulcast, and you can see the link down below. So if you have an Oculus or a Vive system, you're able to watch me and Alvin on a humongous screen. So in case this is not big enough for you,
yeah.
watching us from one of your devices, you can log in and watch us even on a bigger screen. And the link is right down below. Milton, thank you for hanging with us. And Stuart, which I spoke to him just the other day too. Nice to see you. DJ, what's up? What's up? Hanging
What's
with us
up?
today. Yeah. Leon hanging with us. And Trevor, nice to see him. Sammy 2 Tech. What's up, Sammy 2 Tech?
Hey, Sammy.
And Bama was jamming to the tunes when I had a little bit of the
Hmm.
Incredibox. It's a
Yep.
website you can go to, and that was actually one of the Aubyns sites of the week that created that little intro, that little song thing going on. So,
Hmm.
little fun thing. Yeah, it was a fun little thing. Oh, Milton's got jokes. Milton's got jokes. After seeing the picture that everyone got to see with us with Aubyn a little taller than me, just
That's a little.
yes, Randy, what's up? Deadman Watkins hanging with us. Next Level, what's up? Hey, if Next Level wants to jump in, hit
Yay.
up me
Yeah.
or Aubyn. We'll
Go
throw
help
you a
me. Yeah.
link. We'll throw a link to you. Patty and Blind's Eyes. We got lots of our regular folks in here. What's up? What's up? What's up, my friends? So it's great to see all these people that catching us live. Darkness, finally a live show I could catch without being 1 hour behind the showcase. So yeah, broadcast. Excuse me. So yeah, if you have questions, throw them out there. We'll do our
Yeah.
best to try to answer those questions. Uh, yeah, wonder if Plex will come up. Yeah, we know
Yeah.
that will. That's actually on the
Drink up, everyone.
list. Yeah, that's on the list.
Yeah.
So, all right, and hey, Darkness, my pleasure, and Aubyn's pleasure. Thank you. We try to find the news and try to find the things that impact us. Funster B also, and actually, he
Uh,
sent me when we're going to talk one of the topics that he brought up today that he showed something about. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're 6 minutes into it. So about time we get started. So yeah, so with our first
mhm.
topic, hold on a second. Let me grab my.
Mm, good.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So this is our new topic. Hey, you can go ahead and ditch the ditch
I
that
did.
one. Okay. So the first topic we're going to talk about is something about Bitcoin, and we're going to talk about Bitcoin because a lot of people are finding their live TV subscriptions are now moving to needing or requiring payment via Bitcoin. Sometimes that can be done through a wallet, a Bitcoin wallet, or sometimes it can be done through Cash App. And this is creating lots of complaints
Hmm.
in the Telegram groups. And I know that Auburn, you've probably seen the same thing that I'm
Oh
seeing.
yeah.
Is a lot of
Yeah.
people
A
you're
lot of
asking them
Karens.
to change. Yeah, you're asking people to change the way that they've been
Yeah.
paying. I've had it as auto pay. I've had it set up with my credit card or through PayPal or however you've had it set up. But a lot of live TV subscription services are moving to Bitcoin and needing and requiring, if you want to have their service, to be a Bitcoin payment. So I'll try to explain this. And most of the groups, if you read most of their pinned posts, the posts that some rooms will, every 15 minutes or something, it'll pop up this
Mhm.
post. So sometimes people are like, well, they posted this big rude thing after I asked a question, but sometimes the bot will just post that thing in there. And what it has to do with is PayPal, which a lot of TV service subscriptions use as their credit card processor. So even though you're paying with a credit card or a debit card or something like that, PayPal is actually handling the processing of the credit card or the bank card, the debit card, whatever that is needing to be processed. And increasingly, there has been a problem with PayPal locking or suspending people's accounts that are providers of TV services. And what this
Mhm.
causes is, what their normal thing is that once there is an investigation or a flag is thrown up because of people doing chargebacks, or there's numerous things that can cause a PayPal account to be flagged. Once it's flagged, it can be locked up to 6 months. Now, not necessarily all that are always be 6 months, but it can be locked up to 6 months that no funds can be taken from it. So let's just think about if you were for a TV service and all of a sudden all of your funds are frozen, you're not going to be able to pay for the servers or the other costs there's overhead to providing live TV links for your subscription. So because of the pressure that's fallen on PayPal and pressure this from people flagging it and all kinds of stuff like that, but it's also when ACE or MPAA or different organizations, they'll flag these certain accounts if they're able to find out what this PayPal account, they'll flag it, and PayPal is going to obey and follow whatever restriction because they want to stay within the law. So if there is a account, they're going to side on the ACE or motion picture MPAA and possibly lock the account until an investigation is complete. And then at the end of that investigation, they can decide what they're going to do. But the biggest thing is that the accounts are locked. That account is locked. So what a lot of services are doing is they're moving to Cash App or a Bitcoin thing and wanting payment via that. Problem with that is not all countries allow you to link a bank card to your Cash App. Me being in Canada is one of those countries that will not allow you to link your debit card to the Cash App. It will not just, it says not allowed. Now, if I was in the US or if I link it to a US bank, it will allow it. But in Canada, it won't. I believe the UK is the also the other thing that's happening.
Mhm.
Um, so we've got to be careful about, when we have issues with this and people get all upset and throw a fit and say this is unfair, I'm gonna move to another service. Keep in mind that more and more services are moving to other forms
Mhm.
of payment. So they're looking to try to stay a step ahead. So if you're not willing to adapt and roll with changes, you will be left behind.
Mhm.
uh, because this is the cat and mouse game that any of you guys that have been in this hobby of ours for the years that we have been, it is a cat and mouse game. It's this thing goes down, you move to this. If this goes down, you move to that. It's a shell game. But if you're not willing to stay on top of it, you will be left behind and you won't have those things. So I would highly suggest, if you're a person that likes the live TV subscriptions, do some research about your country or where you're at, and see if you're going to be able to get it some type of crypto wallet or some type of way like that, or use Cash App and be able to link it to be able to pay with Bitcoin. Now, you on Cash App, you don't have to buy the Bitcoin. You basically, if you have $50, you can pay via Bitcoin, but you're not buying $50 and you're holding on, or if you're not sitting on $60 worth and you only use 50. The payment, it's almost like currency whenever you pay to another country. You can be paying with Canadian dollars, but the payment is made in British pounds. It's a conversion. That's what you're doing on the Cash App if you pay via Bitcoin. Uh, be patient with these services. If you care about those services, you're going to find more and more services running into um, the same wall, the same problems. The smaller ones probably won't, but any of your bigger services, they are going to be flagged. And so if you can't adapt, you're going to have a problem. And so, I'm not sure. Any thoughts from you, Alban, on that?
Listen, I'm so happy with my IPTV services. Listen, if they're gonna ask me to do this to make sure that they get paid, I'm happy with my service. So I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to pay them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I know the other alternatives. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Yeah.
I have a service I'm so happy with, and they're changing, and I'm gonna change with them. I want them to get their money.
Yeah.
I hate the thought of losing them because I gotta be a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate being a Karen. I want these guys to get paid. You know what I mean? It's not that many um, things that we all pay for, but this is something that's great. You're talking 38,000 channels and all those movies. Yeah,
Yeah.
how can I not? How can I
Yeah.
not support them?
And again, if some people don't care about live stuff. I mean, Chuck, he
Mhm.
cares zero about
Right,
live TV. There
right.
are people that don't care about live TV. They
Hmm.
don't, they could care less. So then that's not going to affect you. But if you're a person like myself, or like, oh, I
Hmm.
want the sports, I want
Yeah, I want my
the
pay per
live
view.
events, I
Yeah.
want certain things, so I'm going to have it. It reminded me, and I mentioned to you about
Cards.
the satellite cards, the DirecTV
Hmm.
cards.
Yep.
For us that remember the satellite cards, the DirecTV cards, and we were chasing the hacked cards, if you guys remember,
Hmm.
and you'd have to take it to someone's house and they'd stick it
Yep.
in the little computer and they'd rewrite the program. And remember, it there at the beginning of the time, all right, it had already been going strong before I found out about it. And then I used it for probably a year and a half without problems. Then I'd had to get it reprogrammed. And then it lasted for 6, 7 months. Then I had to get it programmed again. Then it ended up being more and more like every week it was going out and it became
Hmm.
too much of a hassle.
Yeah.
And that's what this is kind of like. You're just having to stay in front of it if you have the patience. If you don't
Yeah.
have the patience, you're going to need to change up some of your options there. Hold on a second. Hey, let me send. I see. Copy. All right. Yeah.
The room
Uh,
has changed for the VR. It's on the bottom there now. So if anyone has lost
did he
connection,
did
they
he
can.
did he lose? Okay. All right.
Could have.
Sent out a link to a couple peeps. Yeah, the
Okay.
football card was the first. Remember back in the day in the football cards, and remember used to it was like the H card and the HU card. I think the
Hmm.
H card was the first one, but um, you've got to be flexible, folks. And I just and the reason why I bring this up is I'm in a lot of Telegram groups, and when I'm seeing these Telegram groups, is a lot of crying and almost ungrateful for the service that you're getting for the cost that you're paying.
Hmm.
It's ridiculous that people come into a room and you know go irate about having to pay via some other source.
Yeah.
And I understand it's something new you got to learn, or it's more hassles. And if you're in a country that doesn't make it easy for you, you've got to put forth some effort. I know that some of the services, when I'm looking through it, they're trying to find other options, but that's not going to always happen. Hold on a second. Um, okay. All right. All right. That's cool. Oh, hold on a
Okay.
second. I'm trying to send links. I thought I sent the link already.
Okay.
I sent a link out to a couple of people that. But yeah, what gets me is it's just the some people's tone. If you have a problem with a service or something, uh, let me just say, how you approach the room and discuss the issue you're having highly impacts how you're going to be responded to. If you enter a room and start bitching off the bat and you come out with, you know, with language that's a little abrupt, you may find that the response is going to be even to that. And sometimes you may find yourself gone. So, what's up? Next level.
What's up, brother?
Was that welcoming me just to make sure that I don't say anything I'm not supposed to?
Yeah, that was keeping you in line, brother.
I hope you guys are doing good, man.
I'm good.
Yeah.
It's nice
I'm
to
good.
catch your show. I don't always get a chance to jump on, but I
Ah,
really do appreciate every time you invite me. How
oh,
you doing,
yeah.
Aubyn?
Yeah, all right, brother. All right. Good to
I
see you, man.
I wanted to jump in on that conversation real
Yeah.
quick
Yep. Yep.
because
Yeah, I
I
know
see
you're a
it too.
Bitcoin guy. You're a
I
Yeah.
yeah,
Bitcoin guy.
I'm so besides streaming, ever since YouTube killed, I guess, my passion for sharing certain things, I've gone
Hmm.
into crypto mining. I'm going to share a little bit of a tidbit, but I'm actually
Okay.
closing a deal right now where I'm getting access to 400 amps, about 100,000 watts of power to expand my crypto mining business. So I love crypto mining. I'm a crypto mining kind of guy. But at the end of the day, exactly what you said, things are changing and you have to move with it. And there's programs out there that allow you not to necessarily buy the crypto. You
Hmm.
send
Hmm.
whatever dollar amount that you're sending, right? So
Hmm.
a lot of these services, you have to pay in a certain currency anyways, right? Let's say you're paying in PayPal and
Yep.
the subscription that you have is through a UK provider. Well,
Yep.
then you're going to be paying in GBP or euros, right?
Yep.
Not only is there a conversion fee, but there's also a PayPal fee.
Yep.
So if we're going to start to look at complaining about, oh, I have to pay in a different currency because that's what Bitcoin is,
Yep.
then we've been paying in different currencies for years already.
Yep.
You just have to find a platform that supports that currency, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah. All right. So, a question, since you are Canadian, so
Hmm.
what would be one of the suggestions? Because I see in a lot of rooms
Mm-hmm.
complaints about I can't use Cash App to
Right.
because that's easy. The reason I use Cash App as an example, it's an easy thing for people to use. They can convert
Mm-hmm.
their dollars uh, uh, to bit, and I've seen where
Yeah.
there it's easy to happen. So, what would be one of your suggestions, or a couple of the suggestions that if somebody was having to pay with a bit currency, what would be something easy for people?
So there's actually a lot of platforms that support it in Canada. Some of the easiest ones that are strictly Canadian companies, like built and based out of Canada, are ones like Shake Pay. Actually also have a virtual debit credit card as well. You also have one called Coinberry, which I actually know people that work out of their head office. You have crypto.com,
Mhm.
and every single one that I just mentioned works with e-transfers. So if you
Okay,
can send an e-transfer,
there you go. A good idea.
you can fund your accounts.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this Shake Pay right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, easiest way for Canadians to pay and sell Bitcoin. In this, all right, so you talk about e-transfers.
Mm-hmm.
Again, me from being come from the US, I had never heard of e-transfers. I don't know
Right.
about you, Alban, until
Nope.
I had moved to Canada, and people are like, "Well, just e-transfer me." I'm like, what the hell is an e-transfer?" And Blue says, "You've got your bank account." I'm like, "Well, yeah." And she goes, "Well, it's set up and this and that." So then she just right from her phone basically wires from her
Hmm.
bank to my bank
Mm-hmm.
an amount
Yeah.
of whatever it is, and it's done with, you can do it with a password and all kinds of stuff like
You can
that.
do it with a phone number or an email address.
Yeah, so you can
Hmm.
make it secure, but
Mm-hmm.
it's an easy way of just doing a bank transfer without
Mm-hmm.
any filling nothing out. So what you're saying, you could do an e-transfer if you're a
Mm-hmm.
Canadian, an e-transfer to one of these wallets of sort.
Yeah.
Wallets.
Boom, you've
Uh-huh.
got the current,
So
you've
when
got
you
a
send
bank
the
account.
e-transfer to one of these companies, it'll
Mhm.
be in a Canadian dollar account, and then
Yep.
you would just convert it from your Canadian dollar account to Bitcoin or whatever currency you want, right?
Mhm. Yeah. So that's a good idea. I mean, I've never heard of this that Shake Pay. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's and there was a couple others that when I had done
Now,
some searches, and I can't remember what the
the
names of them were.
problem with ShakePay though, they are
Okay.
pretty easy to buy, but I think when you're sending, they have a minimum amount to send.
Amount that you can.
Right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you have to really look into which platforms you have available in your country and what are your, I guess, limitations for using each
Right.
one, right?
And your service charge. And
Yes.
so you may not want to necessarily do monthly reoccurring because most people, a lot of people like a monthly because then they don't have any overhead if the service should go down. But the thing with the benefit of that is that you don't have to worry about long term, but you would be paying that service fee every single month for doing a transfer, right?
And
Through any of these wallets.
I wanted to give, I guess, props to Aubyn for mentioning, you know, he supports what they do because he likes what they
Yeah.
do. But just to take that a little bit further,
Mhm.
a lot of these services pay for their servers in crypto.
Yes.
Yep.
Right? So there's been a lot of issues in the past over several years with PayPal's being shut down, with issues with platforms like that. And
Yep.
if they just have to pay for their servers anyways, and they're paying for it's something that comes down the line, right? So the
Mhm.
servers are having issues with PayPal, so they switch to crypto. And then the service providers have issues and they switch
Yeah.
to crypto. And then the resellers have issues and they switch to crypto. And then
Yep.
it's something that just comes down the line. So you either
Line.
accept it or you move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right. What's up, DJ? I say thank you for joining
Hey.
us, DJ, a themer. So just to let you guys
Yeah.
know, he does a lot of the K app themes and
Yeah.
Next Level. Be an introduction in case you guys you're not aware who Next Level. Next Level,
Yes.
great podcasts. Him and Rojas do some shows together. Lots of tech help.
I'm
So check out his YouTube channel.
I am hi everybody. I am subscribed to both their channels.
Yeah.
It's like you say. It's quite funny because when they do a video, I get both. I get one from Next Level and I get one from Rojas, and it's exactly the same video.
Yeah. And they work as a team, do lots of great content. So if you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe to them.
DJ, I actually also share that to Twitter and Twitch. So if you want to get 4 notifications from the same video in 4 different places,
I'm on Twitter, but I don't think I follow you on Twitter. I think I follow Rojas on Twitter, but like Twitch, I don't use Twitch. I twitch enough myself. So.
He's got Twitch. It comes natural to him. And Stuart, I did see he talks about his bank works with Bitcoin. And so, again, it depends on your bank and where you're located. I believe the UK is another one that's a little bit tougher on what apps, or it's not as Bitcoin wallets or such, not as easy as being in the US. The US tends to be the easiest.
Yeah, it's like, say, the UK.
Dabs, I want to challenge what you're saying, though. I really do. And the reason I want to challenge what you're saying is because the majority of the content creators come from the US. So the reason we think that some of the other countries have it difficult is because they have a smaller voice. Right? So, for instance, you're in Canada, and I just mentioned a couple platforms that you've never heard of. But you're not part of that voice because Canada doesn't really have a big representation when it comes to media.
Well,
you see what
I'm trying to make a difference on that.
They just film this stuff there, you know.
Yeah, well, they do a lot of filming there.
Yeah,
because you and I are not from the UK, we don't know anything about their platforms, so we're going to automatically assume that it's harder to get Bitcoin.
Well, but I'll use from the Telegram rooms that I'm reading a lot of. Cash App doesn't work in the UK for paying with Bitcoin. From a lot of the complaints. And again, that tends to be in Canada and the UK are the two ones that I see. I can't pay with that, and I'm going to have to leave because of that. So,
but Cash App is an American company.
Yes, yeah, but I think that more restrictions are probably Canada is a little more restrictive on certain things. So I think that that's probably why Cash App doesn't allow Bitcoin. Maybe I don't know. Not to be throwing shade on Canada, but look, we got even Charles. He's done hanging in with us today.
Hey, what's up, Charles? Happy
so,
birthday,
but
brother.
I think that for my biggest point is that with people, you've got to adapt with this. You have to adapt, and if you're not willing to adapt, you're going to have to just have less of the choices that we all enjoy. And which, if you're fine with less choices, then hey, more power to you. But for me, I'm going to adapt, and I'm going to stay on that cutting edge, and that's why, with being in some of the groups and Next Level, you're in a lot of those groups along with the rest of us. You stay in a way, or you stay informed, and you don't complain. I don't, don't complain when somebody moves to that, and that's to protect them. Because think about it, if someone's paying, if a service is paying via PayPal and that account is locked and all their money is locked in there, and as you said, their server charges or service fees, their server fees, there is, some of them are resellers, so they have to pay for those, for that content from somebody else. So when that happens, money stops, and the subscription could the service could go down and be done. I mean, I believe that, I don't know if there's many that have admitted that, but I could see that happening if you have a server fees of, let's just guess, $500 a month, and your PayPal's locked. Are you going to come out of your pocket for $500 for the next few months until PayPal releases your money? Most people wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. It just seems to be a problem that if we don't adapt, you're going to be left behind.
I'll be left
There was
behind.
that one.
You'll be left behind. I'm sure you'll figure out something. There's
I don't
ways.
use Bitcoin whatsoever. It's like I say, PayPal. I've always used PayPal. Never had a problem with it.
Yeah. Well, you'll just have less options moving forward. I mean,
Yeah.
There will be options, but you'll just have less options. And if some services move to some type of a pay, you'll have to change that or not use that service.
It could be less options, or your price structure could change. I could see people that are accepting PayPal charge more.
Yeah. Because I was actually thinking about that. I was thinking, if you were a reseller and you still allowed PayPal, you could actually charge people more, even though you're just a reseller of another thing. And you say, well, I accept PayPal, so because of that, I'm taking a risk, so I'm going to charge you more. I could see people easily doing that.
You're putting ideas in people's heads now.
Well, it's not like, not rocket science. So, yeah.
Just like
part of the problem with PayPal is when people are with resellers, they stipulate what it is actually for. They'll make a comment.
Yeah, hopefully you don't. Hopefully they usually tell you don't do that. Yeah, usually they tell you don't do that. Yeah, and people charging back. I mean, there's lots of people that will, pay for a service and then get mad, or maybe want to be cheap and say, I'll just charge it back. What are they going to do? They can't stop me. Were they going to fight the cause because I'm going to be able, so when those chargebacks, I mean, those are flags on an account for PayPal. So, there's all these things that people do that actually sabotage a service that you may enjoy. So, and
sabotage it for everybody else.
Yep. You're right. So, all right, I was going to move on. I was going to jump on.
Before you go to that, there's a bunch of storage stuff up there. But first, I think they should just get to Sharon. Yeah, she's saying that, which we already discussed. I don't know if she came in late.
Yeah.
But Cash App does.
It does work, but you just can't link your bank to it.
Right.
I installed it on my phone. I set up an account right on my phone, and I'm in Canada. It knew I was in Canada, and when I tried to link my Canadian bank card to it, it said no, that's not allowed.
Does it allow you to link that other app to it? The what was it, the one that
Share Pay, wasn't it? Shake Pay. Shake Pay. Well,
no,
the
other one that Blue showed you, the one that you said that you could just send money. That's how everyone over there does it.
Oh, that's not even an app. That's just done. That's like an e-transfer.
It's done through your bank.
It's done through your bank. You just pull up your bank's app and put in like Next Level. I put it to someone's email or their phone number, just like he said.
Right.
And it's they have it set up on their end, and it automatically wire transfers the money like this. I mean, it
Right.
happens instantly.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and that works out really well for people. So,
Okay.
I didn't see. So that was okay. Okay. And I saw, where Darkness says, it's worth it. I mean, and hey, I'm glad that he did catch Rough and Rowdy. I'm not sure about you guys, if you guys caught Rough and Rowdy, but
Yeah.
yeah, we talked about it enough last week.
Oh man.
And hey, I do like the comment. He says, I don't know, but damn, it's a train wreck you can't take your eye off of. It is. And Rough and Rowdy is. You're going to be a little bit embarrassed. You may be a little ashamed. You may need to go to church the next day after you watch that, because it's just not right. But it's great to watch. So, let's go ahead and we'll jump on to our next topic, which is your favorite topic.
Ooh, get ready to drink, everyone. Plex.
So we're gonna have to talk about Plex. So again, one of the things I will say.
Get ready to go to sleep, was it?
Yeah. Well, you don't use Plex. So if any of you guys, any of the topics we talk about, the hyperlink is down below. You can go and read the full article, because we'll graze through the article. But I post the link so that you can read it for yourself if you feel like I left something out. Plex had breached. There was a breach. Usernames, emails, passwords may have been exposed. I don't know if you guys all got the email. I know I got the email.
I got it.
About Plex having an issue, and this isn't the first time we've seen this somewhere. So you guys have seen that. Yeah. Where's that? Oh, hold on a second. I got the wrong window here. So I would highly suggest, if you have a Plex account, just create a new password. The chances of that you'll be targeted and they'll get you is probably pretty low. But why take a risk when you know that risk is there? Just change your password and be done with it. Or you can be like Aubyns and be the fancy guy and pay for this fancy password descrambler that he has plugged into his PC.
Yep.
And again, this is another reason to suggest that you don't use the same password for all your accounts.
Yep.
Because you think about it, if you're using the email, if they have your username, your email, and your password, they could be used in other places too. They could try to use the same password on your email account. And if you've done that, someone's into your email account and then can lock you out.
I just want to commend. I want to commend Plex for getting right to everyone immediately on this.
Yep.
They were right on it. So I want to give that to them. Just,
I got it.
Not showing that whose data was gotten or anything like that, but even just to say, hey, just change your passwords anyhow.
Yep.
Just to play it safe.
And like they say, 20 million people use it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's a lot of people. You can do the 2-factor
authentication.
Yep, you can use that as another added thing, which I do for my Plex, and I use it for a lot of different services. Again, it's not going to guarantee that you're not going to be hacked or someone's going to get into your account, but it just makes it more difficult. If you make it more difficult, a lot of times people will abandon trying to get into your account and move on to somebody that's easier. That's the idea, is that you make it difficult for them so they don't want to waste their time, and they move on to somebody that does not take the precautions and the safety measures or the harder passwords that you may have. And again, it reminds me of, you ever hear those in the movies where it says, I don't have to be a real fast runner. I just have to run faster than the guy behind me. Like in those zombie movies.
Yeah.
You see the guys run behind him. So I just got to run faster than him. It's the same thing with these password stuff. You don't have to have your passwords perfect, but you just got to make it harder than the next guys, because then their likelihood them to move on to the other guy, the odds increase, and you may be safe or somewhat safe.
I just wanted to say real quick to Patty D. Just change your password, Patty. Okay.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine.
Yeah, and I will give another thing. Come up with you can come up with some ideas on how to do your passwords to where that they're random for each of the services and the sites, but
Hmm.
you can come up with a method that helps you remember what those passwords are for that particular site.
Hmm.
There is some different ways you could come up with your own to using capitals, lowercase, as well as symbols and numbers. You really want to use all of them to just make your password safe. You don't want to use a simple, 6, 7, all letters. Those are easier to crack. So you don't want to do that.
Hmm. The more characters, the better.
Yeah. Any thoughts from the other guys on the panel?
So, just really quickly,
Yep.
I've seen
Yep.
some people say, well, does it really matter? I don't use my Plex account anyways. I signed up once, or I don't have a membership. But the problem really lies in a lot of times when there's data breaches like this, the list gets
Hmm.
sold, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
And maybe they're not accessing your account now. Maybe you're not
Hmm.
using the account now, but maybe down the road when you decide to add payment details and you're
Hmm.
starting to use the account, that's when they decide to access your account.
Yep.
So yeah, Plex is going to say in one breath that no payment details were leaked, but your username and password is leaked, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
they can access all the information on your account if they choose to log in. And if you use the account, if you use Plex or not, if it's free or if it's paid, no matter what, if you have a data breach for anything, you should be changing your password.
Yep.
You should treat every single data breach that's involved with your information as something that's serious, because it daisy chains down the road.
Yep.
Sometimes they use your information for another service,
Yep.
right? They'll try to run a bot that tries to log in with your information on several services. And
Yep.
if you're a person that uses a very similar username and password somewhere else, well, this Plex breach could affect something else in your life.
You're very good point. Yep. Yep. Because it's not just again, if people are
Yeah.
using the same
Names for
username,
different.
email, password on different accounts. We pulled up a thing. I think we talked about it 3 or 4 weeks ago, Auburn, where we talked
Mhm.
about it could check all the sites for your
Yeah.
name,
Hmm.
and it would look for the username on all these
All
different
the
sites.
sites.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
And this was just a public site.
mifilm.com or something like that.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
looking at it because you could search it. And
Hmm.
let's say they did that. I mean, again, that's widely known information. And then if
Yep.
they got your username and your
And the
password,
password,
try
and they
plugging
use it
them in
on
all
those
those
other ones.
places.
Yep.
See
So
what
they gotta have
happens.
separate passwords for everything.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah. So yeah, good point. It's not necessarily going to happen today. And next level point about it's not necessarily that they get into your Plex account, but what if they get into your bank account or your
Hmm.
email account or some other or your Facebook account, whatever other account is more important to you or important to you, and they're using the same username, email, and password. Boom, they're in. I had my Twitter account was hacked one time, and the only reason that I got it right back is that I noticed it right away and went through the steps. Took me like 2 hours of proving that I'm me, and then getting my account back. And immediately I put the two factor. I went ahead and put that into effect right away. So that if
Hmm.
somebody did log into my account, boom, I get a text message or I get an email saying, "Hey, is this correct? Do you want to allow this?" And those types of steps help to protect you.
All my stuff is on two factor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
Everything.
it's the best way to be. I mean,
Yeah.
like next level, it's not necessarily today, but if that information's sold, they may try to get into your account months from
Hmm.
now, and then you're
Yep.
not going to
There,
know who the hell got into your account and how. Be like, I
It's
don't know
like I
how
say,
they got into it.
I got a Plex account, but I got no payment details in it. So, and I never will. There never has been.
Hmm.
A lot of my stuff I do have, doesn't have payment details in,
Mhm.
I will put them in just for that one specific time. I want to make
Yeah.
a payment. I'll make the payment, then I'll remove my payment details.
Yeah.
I never
Well,
leave them on there.
yeah, you got to be careful. I mean, and again, I saw someone said I don't use Plex, and again, a lot of us do, and I felt like that was why this is relevant to our group. But also, this is happening all the time. I mean,
Mhm.
I can't remember earlier this week I saw there was a data breach with something that I used, and I got an alert said information might have been leaked from this account, and you may want to change your password.
Yeah.
It's happening not just in one place; it's happening all over. So you're going to get emails, or you're going to hear about things that's happened to certain things that you're subscribed to, or that is part of one of the services you use. Take each one of those serious, and make sure to protect yourself.
Mhm. Protect your neck.
Protect your net. See, we didn't
Now,
get that on a shirt.
Hey,
yeah.
Dubs, I have to,
Yeah.
don't I?
Yeah. Hey, that's a double joke for you.
Yeah.
People that
Yeah.
know what that means.
I just want to say to Leon out there, this is what I have. I have a multi-pass. I don't know if you can see it there. Hold on.
Multipass.
My multi-pass. Oh, hold on.
Hold on. Let me make you
Hold on.
big. Oh, there you go. I got you.
It's not
Oh,
focusing, Auburn.
Yeah.
yeah.
You
Hold
got to
on.
move
Hold
it
on.
in
Let
front of
me.
your
Yeah.
shirt. There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah,
This is a multi-pass.
yeah, it's
Uh,
blurring it out as well. So
Yep,
yeah.
that's cool.
it's the
So
screen. That's
Yeah,
go
the
ahead,
it's
Auburn.
problem.
but this multi-pass holds all of my passwords, and my passwords are like 20 characters long. I don't have to remember not one of them. It has a card that can keep a backup of it, and I don't have to worry uh, about what my password is. I go to log in. I just have to knock on my desk, and then it logs me in. It's really the neatest thing since sliced bread. I absolutely love it. I absolutely do. Uh,
Until a power surge happens and wipes
but it
that
doesn't
thing.
matter. It won't wipe it. I have a backup of the memory card. You know what I mean? I won't
Yeah.
lose it. It's really neat. And
Yeah.
the length of the passwords, I make them. 17 to 20 characters. That's a lot harder for them to crack.
All right. So I got a question for y'all, and this is a legit question. So when you have that, so how do you use that password? So say I'm on my Plex on my Shield. You got to
Right.
log in sometimes. So how do
But
you
on the
how?
shield, you got to remember on your shield, it logs you in by it authenticates it first from the PC or another device that's logged in, and that's why it gives
Okay.
you the code, the
Oh,
four
okay.
letter thing there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but some of them,
Uh,
like some things, you do have to put your password in. So are you able to
I'm able to
pull?
use it. Yeah, I
Okay.
could use it with any Bluetooth device also.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
and
it's
that's
really neat.
so, sir. How much does one of those things cost
Oh, I
a normal
forgot now.
person?
100 something, 100 and I'll say 120. I can't remember. I don't even care because I get pleasure out of it, knowing that you know what I don't have to
That
remember
sounded
this
a bit bad.
password because
That
when
sounded
you
bad.
see it putting the password up there and the password is 20 characters long, hey, they
I
ain't got
get
me.
pleasure from it. I don't want to
So,
know.
so it vibrates in your pocket then, Auburn.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of
Oh,
course.
look at that long key string.
Longer, longer.
Longer.
All right. So since we're talking about Plex, where's my window here? Hold on a second. I was gonna share one thing, and I was gonna share. We talked about this last week, and we talked about this. If you guys added yourself to,
Mhm.
what was it? What was it called? The Friends,
The Discover. Uh,
the beta
yeah, the
thing.
Discover beta.
So this was a thing we started. So I'm able to see all the content. You can rate and you can suggest items for your friends to watch. And you're able to also see the activity of all of your friends. So I'm able to go through, and if I see one of my friends watching a show that I care about, I'm able to see it. And one of the things I discovered with this is that no wonder Auburn has no time for anything else, because this mug is watching too much TV.
I've been
This is
telling you
not even
guys
a day. I'm at 21 hours, folks.
that.
I am still rolling. All right, so it's been past a day. I mean, and you can actually hit check marks. You can, with your Plex, you can open this up and you can watch that show if you care about
Mhm.
watching it. But that's why Alvin don't have any time, because he
No,
watches too much shit.
I've been
Yeah,
telling you guys that for a long time now.
yeah,
You know.
it's true.
I
So
can't believe you watched that shark thing. That new one.
he
That's
only
nice
watched one
there.
episode, though. If you look at it, it was like
Man Eater.
a man eater.
Oh
Yeah.
no, no, that one
It's a
I just
movie.
watch list. I watched listed. I
Ah,
watched
Okay.
listed it.
Added to all right,
That's a watch
activity.
list.
It's
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
okay.
but I'm
it's
gonna
a
watch it.
movie.
It's in my watch list. Yeah, it's a movie. I'm gonna watch it. You know, that's
Oh, I can't
where I
believe it.
am.
You're gonna watch that
Yeah,
rubbish.
it's watch
Listen,
list.
I watch such crap. You know that somebody has to watch it.
Yeah. No, they don't. But yeah, you can it's great feature. If one of your friends signs up for it, you'll get an email saying from Plex saying that so and so has added you to this list. Do you want to um, allow it? You can say no, and you don't have to allow your information to be shared with your friend, or you can agree to it. I agreed to it, and we messed around with it
On
last
back
week. It's neat.
in there also. You know,
Huh?
if you send a message, because you can send a message to someone
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
can reply back. You know, about a
Yeah, it
movie.
is neat that I can post little questions, or if you like a show, you can say you sent me a show earlier this week, or a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you said
What was
it's
it, the Randy Rhodes
Karat.
one?
Yeah, the Randy Rhodes,
Yeah. Yeah.
story. You sent that. You said, "Oh, this is cool. It's more of like the
Yeah.
Days with Quiet Riot or something."
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're
That was
able to
him.
send a message with the movie, and so again, that's for Plex information this week. You guys should check if you check it out. If you have Plex, this is kind of a neat little feature. I like it. I'm not sure. Anybody else? What do you guys DJ or Next Level? Do you guys have Plex, or do you subscribe to that?
I have Plex, but I don't pay for it, so
Mhm.
I'm not a premium.
Well, if one of your
Well,
friends, if a friend of yours adds to the of
yeah.
the beta, you
Yeah.
will get it. Now, your friend has to be a premium user or Plex Pass.
Yeah.
But if they do it, and if they add you, you'll automatically get that feature. You're kind of like grandfathered in.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you are, Auburn. I'll be your
Yeah. So
grandfather.
no, you go in, and then you go to that Discover. You'll see.
I'll have a look.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You have to enable that you want to share. You know, to see everything.
Next Level, any thoughts?
I love Plex, but I haven't used Plex in a while. So I actually have two locations that I'm based out of, and my Plex was at my other place. I had a little home media server. It was a 100 terabyte home media PC that I built, but I ran out of power because I used everything for my crypto mining, so I shut it off. But I will have to say, because I met my girlfriend during COVID, and Plex was amazing for that, because the watch together feature and some of the other features that Plex has added, I really think that it's really underrated when it comes to players. And I actually do miss using it. So when we look at some of the third party stuff and then we see Plex, Plex has the features that the third party apps, now I know Cody probably already has it, but I'm talking about the other APKs.
Yep, I know.
The other APKs are trying to stretch for features that Plex has, and they just can't nail it properly. That auto next play is better. The
How about
watch
the music?
together.
How about the music?
If the music Plexify, oh my gosh, Plexify is
There's
awesome.
podcasts on there as well.
Yep. Oh yes.
It's not Plexify.
Yeah.
No. No.
Brother man, don't make me have to prove you wrong.
No, it's
I'm
not.
sorry. Plexamp.
Plexamp.
Plexamp. I'm sorry. Plexamp.
Does Plex still have that deal with Atari where you pay like $2.99 a month?
They tried that.
Yeah,
they dropped it. They dropped it. They did.
That would
And
have been nice. They're trying to do so many different things,
yeah,
and the one I'm waiting for them to be able to let me do something with karaoke files. You know what I mean? Because
yeah, yeah.
to be able to have karaoke files on my server and be able to let anyone be able to have a karaoke party at the house, you can't beat that. You know what I mean?
You
That would
should
be.
email them.
I should. I know I should, but I have a hard enough problem trying to stay. I'm backlogged 12 days right now of straightening out files, and that's
And TV
about
shows, yeah, as you
yeah, and
saw.
TV shows. Yeah, no, that's just fixing files. You know what I mean? To
Oh yeah, the
make sure
fixing. Yeah.
everything is right and the poster is right, and I'm 12 days behind, and that's like over almost 200 files. It's just like
One of the other things, Next Level, if you haven't used it in a while, is that Discover feature, which does do that. What was it? Watching list, or that website that people link to. Plex linked to it. So, like, say if
just
you're
watch.
wanting to watch, just watch. Yeah, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Let's say you wanted to watch Captain America,
Mhm.
and you did a search in Plex. It would say these sources have it, as well as Disney has it.
Right.
And if you'd like to go through and watch it in Disney, you can click that and it will open Disney and
Mhm.
play it, or Discovery if you have Discovery, or if you have
Right.
Amazon
Or
Prime, if
mhm.
the content is on their service, it
Yeah.
gives you the option. And to me, that's a great way, because a lot of times people struggle with, I want to watch this show, but what service does it come on? Because that's the
Right.
problem now. It's like
Right.
there's too many
The,
services, so you
and
don't know where
that's
to
why
watch
I
it.
was saying last week about that it was that one other one uh, that always incorporated and let you know where everything was coming from. Nobody else does that because everyone wants to. Disney says we are. HBO says I'm just me, and no one can find anything. Plex is doing it all for you right now. It's great.
Is he the one that was from the movie? Uh, what was that one with Will Smith? The aliens. Uh, him and Tommy Lee
Men in
Jones.
Black.
Men in
Tommy Lee
Black.
Jones. Men in Black.
Is that the dog from Men in Black?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
The dog's there, the same color as yours.
that's right. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna move on to our next topic. Brazil decides to repurpose streaming boxes that they gathered on pirating seizures, and have taken those Android boxes and are using them in hospitals, in schools, using them as servers, using them as a way to watch YouTube, all kinds of different ways. So they've repurposed the pirated boxes that have been out there. They have repurposed them to use, here it says hospitals, police cars. I know it said something about schools. So I think that's a great way of, instead of these 1.5, it says 1.5 million illegal streaming devices were seized within 2 years, 2020 to 2021.
But the sad thing is,
And
they put them in the police cars, so I could see all the cops out there, streaming everything else that they wanted to watch.
yeah, they side loading on them.
Yeah.
I've
But they,
actually
yeah,
been to Buzz TV's head office, and a lot of their contracts are for places like this for this
yeah.
exact purpose.
You think about it, at a hospital
Mhm.
or something like that,
Yeah.
where you install and you only install certain applications,
Mhm.
and you're able to have just that content. I think it's
Yep.
a
Yeah.
So yeah, these streaming boxes repurposed, and as you said, Streambox does it already, legitimately. But I guess they said, what the article says is it was better than having to send them to the landfill. They were destroying them and sending them to landfill. They said this was a better purpose, and makes sense.
Mhm.
Especially if you can put it in a school or a hospital, and that make me, whenever you go to a hospital stay, you're gonna want to take a little jump drive and stick that in the side of the Android box. So be like, hey, you want to watch
Mhm.
something here?
Yeah. I just got a quick one
Yep,
here from
yep,
Eddie.
yep.
He's asking how many languages you get Plex. Same as everything else, pretty much. you can set your languages for it from all over the world,
Yeah.
just like you would in the K app, and
Yeah.
as
Well,
for the content, it all depends on what your content that you're putting on there.
right. The library that you're pulling from.
The
Some
library, yeah.
libraries have multiple languages.
Hmm.
Some don't. Now you can download subs for
Yeah.
a lot of these
Hmm.
programs,
Yep.
but it depends on the host. If they have multiple languages, they don't always have multiple language. I mean, a person would have to make sure intentionally to get that multiple languages to doing
Hmm.
as dubbed. Most of the
Right.
time, you would have to rely on subtitles, which Plex can pull from a lot of the major subtitles. So I know just about anything we watch on Plex. I had to pull up the subtitles because to me, at my older age, I'm having a harder time hearing
Hmm.
dialogue.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I turn it up, turn
Hmm.
it up, turn it up, and I'm like, I
I
can't
always,
hear the freaking. And Plex's dialogue is sucks. The
yeah,
At least the K app, I can turn up
turn up
the
the
center
volume. Yeah.
channel. I can
Hmm.
turn the center channel up, so dialogue becomes louder to me without raising the whole volume. But
Yeah.
Plex doesn't offer that, and so that's one
Hmm.
thing that I probably should send on their forums and say, can you,
Yeah.
the K
Hmm.
app has that option
Yeah.
to make voices turn up without turning up everything. So,
Yeah.
um, all right. So the next big topic that I was going to throw out there, and I'm not sure how many of you guys use Microsoft Edge. I don't. I don't. They are
No,
becoming
I
more and
don't.
more bloated as most browsers do.
Nope.
Hmm.
Most
I, u-
browsers do this.
I use the
They
same
sound
same
good
one.
and then they get bigger and bigger. Go ahead, DJ.
I use the same one you're using.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Me too.
I mean, but yeah, if you're using Microsoft Edge, you may find it getting slower, and that is due to they keep adding more features. And I didn't realize some of these you can actually through your browser you can get a loan with Microsoft Edge. And I was reading through this, and I'd never heard of this, but you can actually you can set it up to basically through Zip and set it up to split up your payments. So kind of like Amazon or one of those shopping networks,
Oh,
instead of you paying one payment, you pay it 4 payments.
PayPal do
They
that,
off
don't they?
Yeah, I
PayPal
guess.
do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But I
they
didn't
do.
realize that,
They do a pay in 3 on PayPal, but
So
it has to be over a specific amount,
yeah, yeah.
and
Well,
I think it's over £50 or something. It has to be.
okay.
here's the thing, though. Like all of these browsers today are based off of Chromium,
Hmm.
which
Yeah.
is the open source software behind Google Chrome.
Yeah.
Right. So obviously, when they came out with Edge, it was faster because there was nothing really built
Nothing.
into it. It was the stock version of Google Chrome.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. But then as they add crap, I mean, like they added it playing games and
Yeah.
the one where you can actually do a search for if you find an image of something, you can do a Bing search for it through the browser. And again, the more features, and it goes back with the K app, and we talk about builds. Sometimes people say, well, this has all the bells and whistles. Yeah, but the more things you add, the more processor, the more RAM, the more bandwidth that you're using. So as you make this browser do more and more things, it's going to make it slower and slower. So, yeah, that's so if you're using the Edge, you may want to, you know, revisit, think of it,
Hmm.
take a look. Is it as fast as you're wanting it to be? I prefer Vivaldi. It seems to be
Me
running
too.
really well. And I can even, you can look, I got tabs running all the way across
Yeah.
Hmm.
the top here, and it's running
It,
as well as me running. I've got other
Streaming
things
out.
running down here with the stream,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Yep.
so,
It's a great browser.
It is.
yeah. Vivaldi.
Yep.
Uh, Next topic we had was HBO's pulling dozens of TV shows and movies, and this is because Warner Brothers, HBO, and Discovery's merger. We talked about this probably 2 or 3 months back. They decided to join forces to create that bundle like Disney has with Hulu and ESPN kind of idea to come together. And what this has caused is HBO is really looking at their content and really critiquing it. So what we're going to find with this HBO Discovery package, which is going to be released next year, says mid 2023, we're going to find that this is geared towards adults. They are eliminating any of the kids or that tween content. The shows on here about talking about getting rid of a bunch of the Muppet or not Muppet, the Sesame Street and different items like that. They want to critique and to make their content be for older men and women. They said that when I was reading the article, it says that the content that HBO Max offers is more geared towards men, and that's where they're going to really focus. And Discovery Plus is geared towards women, adult women. And so they figured that between the two of those, they're going to hit both those markets. But eliminating the offering of kids programs, and they said that one of the reasons why they want to do that is they don't want to be Netflix and have so much content that it is lost, which makes sense when you're bundling these things together. What's your platform? What is your selling feature? What is your unique thing that people could say, oh, I like that because it's this. Whereas Netflix tries to be 101 flavors. Other companies are saying, we're not going to try to be 101 flavors. We're going to be, these couple flavors, and we're going to concentrate on those couple flavors. So, more of these mergers are coming.
I don't mean to laugh, but
Yep.
It's 2022, and apparently we don't have two genders anymore. So does that mean that we're going to have a million different streaming apps? We're going to have one for they, one for them. Like, where do we stop?
Well, if there's a market for it, if these companies find a market for it, they will.
They'll split it up.
It's everybody right now. It's like a wild west. I see the streaming platforms are really. We have way too many services. There's way too many subscriptions. They can't all survive. And we're seeing that with Netflix, slimming down and changing a lot of their structure to be profitable. One of the things in here in this HBO thing said they laid off 13,000, or they let go 13,000 staff, or no, maybe it was 130. If I can find it, because it talked about that it let go of all of their reality people. They let go of all of those because
those shows.
They don't want to be there. It's like, that's not something we're going to go after anymore.
But the problem that I'm going to see with that is when we start to niche out the streaming platforms, then they become more expensive as an independent platform because you have less users per niche, and then everything goes back up to cable pricing.
Yeah.
So I would rather you, instead of taking out the they them content, even though I don't watch it, leave it in the same platform that I have to keep my prices where they are.
Right.
Yeah. Well, but I think the end user is the end user themselves right now with the economy, and this is a world economy, are narrowing back on them. So it's like you've got to stand out to say, you can't cut me off. Now you may, you're signing up for, and remember we talked about this just months ago. It talked about the average cost of people that are cord cutters are now over $80 a month. So a cord cutter who was saving money because I'm not paying the cable company or satellite company, is now paying over $80 a month. The average person paying over $80 a month in streaming services. And as the economy gets tougher and tougher on everybody, they're having to make those choices of, well, do I get rid of this service or that service? Because I don't want to pay for that because I can't afford it, because of whatever costs are going.
And I
So
just want to say real quick, I think it's funny how in Plex they have the prices of each of the, like you're looking to stream a movie, and it tells you the prices on each of the different platforms. You know, if you wanted to watch that, you know what I mean? I think that's hilarious. So they're basically saying, okay, well, you got to get someone who already has it, so you don't have to pay for it. I
here's
think
that.
it's
I was looking.
hilarious.
It was they HBO Max laid off 14% of its staff earlier this week,
Wow.
including many of the unscripted division. So it
Hmm.
got rid of stuff that it's we're cutting out. But we're going to see this with more and more services. We're this is not the only merger. There's going to be other mergers that pull
Hmm.
together
Yep.
because you can't survive alone. You got to have some partners that you got this content, I got this content, and we're gonna stay on people's we're gonna stay in people's homes. And it's gonna get tougher for all
Hmm.
these services, and they're gonna continue to go up in price. I mean,
Yep.
we've seen this with almost all of them,
Hmm.
except for this week. We do have to talk about Peacock actually said they're gonna go down on, which
Hmm.
is the first one I've heard.
Yeah.
But
So
Dabs, can I just
yeah, yeah,
I want to bring up a little topic that I talked about
yeah,
on one of my live streams, and I
sure.
was saying that, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, the streaming
Plugging his show now.
enthusiasts, right? We were the average cord cutters.
Hmm.
The enthusiasts were the average cord cutters.
Yeah.
Now the average cord cutter who's spending $80 a month is just somebody who has Netflix and YouTube TV. That's your $80 for the month, right?
Hmm.
Well, it's true. Yeah, yeah.
The enthusiast isn't the average cord cutter anymore. We're the loudest, we're the most vocal, we may be the most knowledgeable, but we're not the average one anymore.
Yeah. And I think I've talked with Auburn about that. That the percentage of people that watch this type of programming, or watch your show, or watch my show, or that stay knowledgeable in this hobby that we have,
Mhm.
we're a very small percentage.
Very
Um,
small.
and so when we talk about, Auburn talks about, well, I'm watching no commercials and all the other people aren't watching commercials. I'm like,
Hmm.
no, most people will watch commercials. Most people have no idea what it means not to watch commercials. They have, whereas we have that experience. So for us to roll back to that is unbelievable. Whereas if you're at as you said, the average cord cutter has been watching commercials. They're used
Mhm.
to it. So if they have to watch an ad so that they only have to pay $10 for Netflix, they're like, so what? I'll watch an ad. $10.
Yeah.
That's all it's going to
Yeah.
cost me is $10. I'll pay $5 for HBO Max, and I'll pay $5 for Peacock. To get more services
Hmm.
for less money, they'll watch the ads. But for us, we're not the average, and so for us, it's hail to the no.
Oh no.
We freak out.
Hell no. I
I
don't have
know.
none
I
of them.
freak out.
I don't
Yeah.
have Disney Plus, nothing.
Yeah.
No Amazon, no Netflix, zero.
Well,
I use one platform.
Yeah.
K platform.
Hmm.
I mean, I use the K, but I also have. I mean, for me, Blue has Netflix that she pays for.
Hmm.
Amazon only because Amazon for the delivery.
Yeah.
It's not even for the content; it's for the delivery.
Yeah.
And then we do have two paid services, the Disney Plus and the Discovery Plus, only because I got it free with my phone service.
Yeah.
So I'm not paying for those, but I guess I'm paying in a way.
Yeah.
If I got rid of my American phone service, I guess I would be, saving some money. But I don't know if I'd be saving that much money. I've been looking at some of the platforms here in Canada.
Hmm.
Those cell
Well,
phone
nothing's
services are
cheap
not,
in Canada.
and they don't really have the unlimited like we have in the
Right.
US.
Right. You can't say we anymore because
I am still American. I got my hold on. Where's my passport? No, all right. This is kind of we'll run through some of these. Thought this was kind of funny about everyone talks about how safe the
iOS.
Apple system is, and one of the things, there's a flaw in it that you have, that VPNs, you're not necessarily using a VPN if you install a VPN on your Apple device. because it creates a connection to the outside your home. Then you create the VPN. That connection, that first connection, is still open
Open.
even though you open the VPN. So you could have data that's being shared outside of the VPN when you think that you're on a VPN. This article goes through talking about that this is it's a bug that's been known for a while. So if you're on an Apple device and you use a VPN and you think that you're, safe, you may want to read this article and take a look at some of the things that you may not be as protected because you may be leaking information outside of your VPN. One of the things it said was that you could go into airplane or what's it, airplane mode, where basically you're not using any internet. Open your VPN, then close the airplane mode, and then you would supposedly only be using the VPN. But it said that it technically wasn't proven to work well. So you may want to, if you were using an iOS and you use VPNs, you may want to look into that. One of the other things here, when we're talking about VPNs, Google's crackdown on VPN on stopping ads. So a lot of us try to stop ads on a lot of our applications or different ways like that. Google is making it harder and harder. And what's it, Blocka? Is it Blocka?
Yeah,
Is it
block.
what? Blockta?
Blockada?
Blockada. There you go.
Blockada, yeah.
Blockada. So Blockada's been running into all kinds of issues being in the Google Play Store, being that Google Play is implementing new rules and new standards that applications inside of their Play Store have to abide by. And the way that some of these applications are using to block the ads, Google is basically saying, no, that you're not going to do that. And again, it makes sense because Google wants those ads because that's how the whole machine works. So keep an eye on some of these applications. If you're using some of these applications to block ads, there's going to be harder and harder for you to be able to use those applications. And I think down the road, you're going to find these applications just removed from the Play Store. And then the next step after that is that the Play Store is going to call that harmful or dangerous applications because it doesn't fall within their standards. So, Funster sent me this or posted this in the room earlier today. So something to keep in mind if you're using some of these applications and you're using them through Play Store, you may find it more and more difficult to use these ad blocking applications moving forward, that it's going to get harder and harder. Let's see. Peacock reveals. Oh, go ahead. Peacock is actually going to lower their prices on their ad-based from $4.99 to $1.99 a month. Now, it does not say how long they're going to do it for, but they're talking about lowering the price. And they didn't give a time for it, but they did say that they're looking to lower the price of this. This does not say anything about their premium, the Premium Plus, which is the ad-free base. It does not say anything about that. It only says about the $4.99, which is ad-supported. They will do a drastic discount to $1.99. That will not be long-lasted, so it may be just a way of trying to drum in new customers.
Yeah, that's just to drum in new customers. That is entice people in.
Yeah, most likely it's all they're going to do. But if you're a Peacock user, you may see your bill drop a little bit, or if you're thinking about giving it a try, you may want to check that out. This is a movie. Netflix released this, and I'm not sure of the guys on the panel and the guys in the ladies and gentlemen that are watching. Sandman.
It's a TV show, isn't it?
TV show,
TV show.
Yeah.
So, I mean, have you guys watched it? Have you read the book or
Not
any of that
yet.
kind of stuff?
I have read the book actually.
Okay.
The books, the comic books. As a matter of fact, I got a signed one from Neil Gaiman.
Wow.
I met him years ago. Yeah, yeah. When he first did the comic books, and then he did the graphic novel, and he signed everything for me. Yeah.
I
So
keep meaning to watch it. I just haven't got
okay,
around to it.
Netflix
Yeah,
or
yeah, this
Next
ain't.
Level. I mean, you're a pretty avid TV watcher. I mean, have you watched Sandman?
I think that's actually a bad description of me because I don't watch a lot of TV, but I have watched a few episodes of this.
No
It's
spoilers.
like a bad description and a bad example because usually I'm not up with TV shows, but I actually watched a couple of these ones. It's an interesting atmosphere, and
Hmm.
anytime you can describe a show with the word atmosphere,
Yeah.
it's done well.
Yeah.
Because it creates an ambiance, it creates an atmosphere around the whole show, and it really
Yeah.
takes you into that story. So
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to like it. I binge watched about 4 episodes one day, and I haven't gone back since. But that's just because I have other things that I'm trying to catch up on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could probably see myself watching more of it. It is definitely different than what I think I've watched in the past, or maybe what's out there right now.
Okay.
You say you binge watched it. Well, that's still nearly 4 hours that you've binge watched. So
I was trying to sleep, and it was on.
You're not really binge watching it, are you? When it's 4 hours.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I never understand that saying. I'm going to binge watch this, and yeah, but if you're watching 10 episodes, that's like nearly 10 hours. You've actually watched
Right.
it.
Right.
could be. Well, if it's an hour show, you may only be 40 minutes an episode.
If I watch
Yeah.
2 episodes of something, I'm binge watching it because I like to get 2
Mhm.
hours to sit down in front of something is unheard of.
Wow.
I just don't like to watch more than a couple episodes of something. It's just me. After about the third episode,
Well,
I'm
that's
at my max
look who you
limit.
live with, you know.
Yeah, oh, she can watch 100 episodes right in a row, not a problem.
Yeah.
But for me, after
I
about the
meant to
third
ask
episode,
you.
I'm like, we got to change. We got to do something different.
I meant to ask you, since Game of Thrones is back, did Blue go and watch all of it all over again
No.
before it started?
Let her
She only
hear
watched
that.
it the once.
No, she's watched it plenty of times before I came here. Don't bring it up. You bring that up, and next thing you know, she's gonna be like, "Oh, I need to go watch all that." No,
Wait
that's
till
just how
Lord of
she
the
is.
Rings comes out.
Oh,
Wait till
God.
that comes out.
Yeah,
Is
we were
that
talking
the
about the movies.
is that
Yeah, we were
the
talking about that.
3rd of September?
Yeah,
The TV show comes
early
out.
September. So, all right. So, but all right, back to Sandman. Yeah, I don't want her to hear that. A good thing I got headphones on because she'll be like, I haven't watched the first Game of Thrones again. It's only the
Sorry,
seventh or eighth time.
sorry, Todd. I've just sent her a message on Telegram to
Yeah.
watch it again for you.
Not like she's on Telegram much, anyways. So, Sandman. I did the audiobook on a trip. A couple years back. I can't remember where I was going. I did a long drive, and I enjoy audiobooks to keep my mind occupied as I'm just driving miles and miles and miles, or kilometers and kilometers, wherever you live. So I did the book, and they did a fabulous job carrying over the book to the TV show. And if you've ever did the book, you'll know, like, to me, that first half of the book was really good. Then it got to these other little stories, which were not as good. But the show put some of those episodes in near the end, especially episode 11 is a different it's not a carry on of the first 10. It's its own episode that stands alone. Maybe it's 2 episodes that stand alone. But they did a fabulous job. The only thing that bothered me was the actor here in his whispering. I felt like I was watching Batman because he's like,
Oh,
"Oh, where are you at?
it's Sandman.
I've been captured for so long." And that voice,
Mm-hmm.
it to me just was kind of comical a
Glad you
little bit.
credit. Uh-huh.
But the storyline visually looks really good. There's one episode, the Hell episode, great. They pulled from the book what they needed to pull from the book. If you've not listened to the book or read the book, I would suggest reading the book. It was just really good, really well written. But there is so much stuff that they could do with this character. And because if you think about the Sandman, and there's so much of his life that you could pull from, and they could expand on episodes. So yeah, it did really well. Netflix smashed it with this one. And I'm not sure if there's people over in the side chat. I'm just curious on how many people. I see
Watched
a
it.
few people said it was a good show. Yeah. Joanne, my sister. There's my sister right there.
Hey,
What's up, sis?
hi.
So yeah, that's my. So yeah, we've yeah enjoyed it. It was a good show. So check it out
You know,
if you've
it's
not
it's
watched
not
it.
like Netflix to have a banger one after the other because we had Stranger Things and now we have Sandman. They don't
Yeah.
usually get bangers like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's not a 1-2 punch, but hey, they're doing everything they can do. And I read an article that more and more of their content is this Netflix original stuff
hmm
Yeah.
that they're having to, but they have to do that because
hmm
all these other content providers, the Warner Brothers, the Disney, all the MGM, they're taking their library somewhere else. So Netflix has to create their their originals, and they got to be good. So yeah, it's a great show. So yeah, definitely if you guys not watched, if you like sci-fi stuff, it is definitely one to watch. Now this was a topic that I'm sure that next level he's going to be interested in. This
Yeah.
graphics cards continue to drop in price due to the 4000 series are about to drop, and I'm not sure that drops at the end of this year, doesn't it? Next
It's
level.
supposed to drop sometime soon,
Are
and
you
Okay.
there,
shaking your head because you're in Canada and it costs so much more for you?
no, I'm
Oh,
shaking my head. So there's actually more to this story than what most news articles are talking about.
yep.
So back when 2020 rolled around, a lot of these companies like Nvidia signed deals with TMSC, which is the chip manufacturing companies, to
Mhm.
order a bunch of stuff. And then the sales dramatically went down as the markets came down, and now they're trying to back out of these deals, and they're saying, no, you either pay for the deal that you signed in 2020 or you find somebody else that's going to take over your contract. So now what's happening is Nvidia is launching the 4000 series cards. They have a bunch of 3000 series cards, and they can't trim down the orders that they were ordering from in 2020. So they're stuck with it. They have to bring down the prices, and they don't have anything else they can do, and they put themselves in this situation.
Well, yeah, and they and like like what you're saying about they've pre-ordered the chips that go in these cards, so they're stuck for that, which is good for the end user. I'm
hmm
still
Yeah.
waiting to get my 30 card. I have held off and held off and held off of getting my 30 series, my 3000 card, but most likely before the end of the year, I'm going to buy a
Which one do you want?
3080 or something. I'm thinking like a 3080. It's probably where I'll probably fall,
So
because
I'm
I need it for my
paying
VR.
500 for 3070s right now. That's what I'm paying.
But on the secondary market or
Yeah,
brand new.
secondary.
See, I don't know. Well, see, you got to get with me. I've been looking and I can't find that many
I have
people.
over
They're
40
always wanting
graphics
like
cards so far.
60 and 70, 80 but or they're always like $600, $700. I'm like, "No, I'm not paying that." So, but again, this market is going to continue to drop because they got to do something with those 3080s, 3060s, 3070s because they're going to want to sell these 4000s. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, when we talk about Oculus for a minute, we talk about the new Oculus is about to drop, and they said it's in October. And this is priced somewhere about $1,000. This is not geared towards your average user. They're talking this will be towards the business or the professional end, the person that's using it for not for just gaming. They're going to be using it for other purposes, for businesses. So they're going to launch this, and it'll be in October, looking at $1,000. And one of the other things I found very interesting when I was reading this article, and they've talked about this, is how much Meta is losing. They lost $2.8 billion earlier in the year. And so they're spending more money than they're getting because they're banking on the future. They're banking on where this will go. And so it's like you're willing to lose money today to have 1, 2, 3 steps on everybody else when this does really picks up and it really explodes, which I mean, it's starting to, it's just not caught up yet. So, and I know a lot of people complained last month, or what was it, 2 months ago, when Oculus went up $100. The Meta Quest, I should say, the Meta Quest 2 went up $100. And it was because they weren't really making money on the device. They were taking it as a loss. They'll make the money on the software, but Meta says we're just not making that yet. So they said we're going to raise the price to try to bring in that more revenue to try to make their balance sheet a little closer. But this is a market that will explode. That because I don't know. For me, I can see where this is going to go. I mean, this is it can. The future is there. I mean, the Ready Player One kind of thing is not right now. It's not in a couple years, but I can see that down the road, it becoming some of that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that they chose now to raise their price, because what's happening is that they came in with a gaming console price, right? Like a Switch, PlayStation VR, something around that ballpark.
Yep.
But now, as PlayStation 2 VR is coming out, they're saying we're not a game console like you guys. We are a premium product, and you're going to have to pay a premium price for it. When the PlayStation 2 VR has better specs than the Oculus currently, right? So hopefully the specs and what you can do with it match the price tag. The only problem that I have with Meta or Facebook is that as an investor, all you can see is them losing money. They lost over 10 billion when they were working on the Libra project, which was a cryptocurrency division. They lost billions of dollars over the last 5 years dealing with cryptocurrency and Meta. So if they can turn around their business and they're still around the next 10 years, then good. But if they keep running themselves into the ground, then I don't know if they're going to still be around supporting the platform of the new Oculus.
Yeah, a good point. And again, when it talks about, we know that with the stock price went up for Facebook and all the different things where there's able to generate money. We talked about that last week, that a lot of tech companies previously, all they had to do was put themselves out there, and their stock market price just went up, 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 up. So they were making more and more money. Now that the stock market's kind of cooled on that, and it's become more of a more realistic value, they're not making the money. That's why, like with all the streaming platforms, Netflix and stuff, where all they had to do is get the most numbers. They just had we have the biggest subscription rate, so our stock price is going to be such a great price that we can offset the money that we're not making by the stock price. But as the stock price comes down, they have to, reevaluate and change their formula. And we'll see. I mean, Facebook, we know that they've had a lot of money anyways, so hopefully, it pays off for them. Changing how they do things. And this leads into the second part of this Quest discussion, was that they released the 43 update 43, just in the last couple days. So you do not need a Facebook account to use on your Quest device.
Oh,
but
I didn't know that.
But you must set up a Meta account. So, and I mean, if you have a Facebook account already, to transfer over to a Meta account, it's pretty seamless. Couple click, yeah, okay, and it's done. And there is people we know that will not sign up for a Facebook account. I mean, we had to fight tooth and nail to get him to
Telling you, I
get a
still hate
Facebook
you
account.
for it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that fight that. They won't get a Facebook account, but now they have to get a Meta account. And again, it's, to me, I see it as Facebook is kind of dividing stuff up, because now it's the Meta, you know, everything is going to be
Universe.
Meta,
Mhm.
kind of like separating everything. So you can now set it up and have it Meta. What I will say, there is some people that have bitched and complained about when you first install it, that there's a problem with sometimes it doesn't recognize your account, this and that. I I didn't update mine right away. It came up on my phone first. The Oculus application came up and said, "Hey, new update. Do you want to go ahead and set up your Meta account?" I said, "Sure." I set it up through my phone. Do you want to authorize, to basically transfer over my Facebook information to Meta? I said, "Okay, do that." Then when I set my phone or my Oculus and turned it on, it said, "Hey, how do you want to log in?" I tried to log into Facebook and Meta both ways, and it would give me a code, which my phone would get the code. I'd put it in, it wouldn't do it. I backed out. The 42 update was still on my Oculus. Updated to 43, rebooted the device, came back in, and then it did the, "Hey, is this you?" And I said yes, and then everything was good to go. So just a few extra steps.
But that takes you out of having to use Facebook with it. Then.
True.
Okay.
And you'll be able to, you can see here where, this was some of the questions that what came up on my phone. Do you want to set it up with Facebook or without
Or you can
Facebook?
continue without. Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is better.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's not
definitely.
really a device out there that doesn't politely ask you to sign into something.
Of
If you're
course it
using
doesn't.
a Fire Stick, you got to have an Amazon account. Doesn't mean that you have
Yes.
to have a Prime membership, but
Right.
Exactly. And that's what I've watched on some of the on my Facebook feeds, some of the Oculus rooms I'm in. People having a fit about having to sign up for Meta. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, you've had an Oculus forever. How long? You've had a
Mhm.
Facebook account and you've linked it to your Facebook account. Now you're going to raise hell that you got to set up a Meta account. And like you said, next level, how many accounts do we set up all the time and we don't even think about it? I mean, it's not even a big deal to set up to stuff. But oh, you're telling me I got to set up this Meta account? Oh, that's bull. No, I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, so I mean, if you don't want it linked to your Facebook, and I do see a point where some people complain because some people get in Facebook jail a lot. There's a lot of people that get in Facebook jail, and if you get your account banned on Facebook, I could see where that would impact your Oculus usage because there is some reports. Can't say that it's ever happened to me because I've never been in Facebook jail, but there is some people that have said that because they got banned on Facebook, their library on their Oculus was locked also. So to me, yes, I can see where having it two separate things may be better for a lot of people. So, but yeah, you want to check out, next level, you'll have to actually turn on your Oculus at some point to be able to see what we're talking about. It's probably got dust on it. You'll have to knock the dust off it, get the cobwebs off of it, and then you can pick it up and you'll be like, "Oh, I need to update."
actually, I just let one of the kids borrow it last night. He took it to his house, so it's being used.
Being
Yeah.
used. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, for all of our folks, you may want to check out, you may want to update some of your questing. One of the categories we were talking about a few minutes ago was about your passwords being stolen. And we see this again. LastPass is in the news again. It wasn't, but maybe 2 or 3 months ago, there was a data breach that they said no information got out. We protected you, no passwords, no usernames got out. Now, there's a developer hack where supposedly the source code has been stolen from LastPass. And folks that don't know what LastPass is a password manager, like we were talking about with Aubyns thing. The last people that you'd want to have hacked and your information stolen would be the password manager that you're using. But
Can I call this a
it has,
hypocritical hack?
yeah,
Because like this is where you put all your stuff to store it so it doesn't get
yes,
hacked, and then it gets
so it
hacked.
doesn't.
This is a
And it gets
hypocritical
hacked.
hack.
I mean,
That's why mine
it's
sits
ironic.
right next to me. You know.
It's ironic. That's what that is. So,
That's it. Ironic. That's a better word.
yeah,
Mine
yeah.
sits right next to me. Good
So,
luck trying to get into it.
so if you're using LastPass, now LastPass says that no information, no people's information has been stolen, no password, usernames, have been stolen. Yeah, that's what they said. But they said that but the source code and the person that was able to hack into it had access to the code. If you have access to the source code, how long before you're able to figure out some vulnerabilities to get that information? So if you're using LastPass, you may want to reevaluate some of those choices and you may want to change some of those passwords that they're protecting you for. So this was quite.
I would get rid of them because it's like, listen, if they got that source code and they're working on, trying to, find out the key to get to everyone's password,
Yeah. And they claim that it's encrypted, it's safe, and this
Yeah.
and this and this.
So they're locked
But
out.
yeah, just keep it in mind. I mean, this is not the first time that I want to say it was 2 months ago we talked about them, that there was reports that that people's username and password were hacked, but LastPass said no, they were not. But there was numerous people that said only LastPass had information to my different accounts, and somehow all of a sudden people are getting into them. They never admitted to it, but if there's where there's smoke, there's going to be some fire, I think. So I don't know. That's a little bit of information, y'all. Keep in mind. Just protect your neck, ain't that right?
Protect your neck. Wu-Tang
And
Clan, baby.
so Commodore 64 turned 40. And I don't know if there's any older folks like me or Auburn that this was the first computer in a lot of people's homes.
Vic 20. I have.
Yeah.
I mean,
ZX Spectrum. Oh, actually, ZX81.
An Atari 800.
and I remember a lot of a lot of schools had the Commodore 64. That was your computer class.
Yeah.
When they were teaching you just basic stuff.
Not here in the UK. It was the Acorn BBC Micro in the UK.
Oh, okay.
Did you guys have any Apple IIes or anything over there, or?
No, not that I know of. Not when I was younger.
Okay. All right.
Like I say, the schools used to have the Acorn BBC Micro.
Yeah,
So
we went
this
from
is
punch
40
cards
years.
to the IBMs.
40 years old. I remember I actually used one of these in school. If you had a rich friend, they had one of these. I didn't have any rich friends that had them, but I do know that I used them at school. I made like a 21, like a game of 21 and different things like that back in the day. But 40 years old, and it's amazing where we're at.
Yep.
All right. Hey, Auburn.
Yeah. Is that time?
Is it that time?
To the week. We got first one here. Howlongtobeat.com.
Yeah. All right. This one here, for all you gamers out there, that will sit and spend all those hours on a game. I don't do that anymore, but this here is a website that will allow you to. You can create an account in there also, but you can pick the platform and the game, and it'll tell you, how long it takes to beat the game in hours. You know what I'm saying? Like it's showing that game there. What is that? Beautiful
sorry.
Desolation, 10 hours. for the main story, 13 hours for, something else. Yeah, it's just, someone has a database going of something, which is pretty neat, and people can log in and you can tell whether or not you're into if you're replaying it, if you're playing it for the first time, all kinds of neat information. Um, so I know a lot of you guys out there do play a lot of games. So and you can add games to your library. It's pretty neat.
I was looking through some. It doesn't have all of them, but it has different ones and different games. So yeah, you can find out how good you are stacked up there against everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So that was howlongtobeat.com.
Yeah.
And the second site here, GIMP, which I think a lot of people
Oh,
have
you're going
probably
to
heard
that
of.
one? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Hold on. I gotta drop down to that one. Whoops. Hold on. GIMP. Okay. GIMP is for all you guys that
Gals.
that like use what's that program there?
Photoshop.
Photoshop. This GIMP's program, you can download it's a open source image editor that looks just like uh, Photoshop and does all the same stuff and allows you to save files with it.
It
Have you
doesn't.
used it?
It doesn't look like Photoshop. Yes,
No,
I
it
have
doesn't.
used it.
Okay.
I have used it. It doesn't look like Photoshop. I've actually got it
No.
installed. I've actually
Right.
got it
Okay.
installed. I
All right.
used to use it, and I actually found it on a personal level myself. I found it harder to use than Photoshop.
Okay. All right.
And
then.
Photoshop's not an easy thing to use.
Right. Right.
I actually did
And
find
the
it.
cost
But-
is different if you buy
Yeah.
Photoshop.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
If you bought
It's-
Photoshop,
yes,
it's
I do.
astronomically priced.
I do pay for Photoshop. It's one thing
Okay.
I do pay for.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
You
right,
use
well,
that.
Well, I use it on a professional level, don't I? So
Right,
I did
yeah.
actually
Yeah.
pay for it. So, but
Mhm.
no, I did try GIMP because I used to use Photo Filtry 7
Okay.
at one point. And then somebody pointed me into the direction of GIMP, and I couldn't get the hang of it. I couldn't. I couldn't. And then, like say, I thought, let's just bite the bullet and just
Yeah.
do a trial on Photoshop. And I did a trial
Mhm.
on Photoshop. I think it was a 30-day trial or something, and tried it and got used to
You were
it,
hooked. Yeah.
and got
Yeah. I know that happens.
got hooked, and learned how to do different layers and, like you say, blends.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do all that in GIMP. It's a great bit of free software.
Yeah.
I will say that, but it's one
Yeah.
that you've really, really got to spend time to actually work on.
Yeah.
There's a learning
not-
curve to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is a great bit of software. If anybody wants to do, like you say, your own backgrounds or anything like that, you can do it. It will do it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, so we got GIMP. The next one that you have here is Guess the Game.
Yeah. Guess the game. Now
And-
this
all right.
one, you need to be a gamer for this also, because it has a picture of a game, pictures
Can
from
you-
the game.
Can you see
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. We can see it. Yeah. I can see it. And
And you can see
have to-
I hit a couple things.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
guessing.
Yeah, you have to like take a guess on what that game is, and you get like 6 tries, and if you go to the second one, yeah, it would show you a different scene from the same game, and it tells you what platform.
That looks familiar. But this, I
Yeah.
swear, I thought this was. Would this be Battlefront or Battlefield?
You type it in.
I don't see. I said Call of Duty. I'm gonna try.
That's not Call of Duty.
See, would it? Maybe
Star
Modern
Wars
Combat?
Battlefront.
It won't be
Battlefield.
Star Wars.
That girl that's in it. I don't know. Here's the different Battlefields. Any suggestions which one I should go with? If
No idea.
I'll go with this one. Submit. Oh, I'm wrong again. Half-Life? That
Released
Half-Life?
in
No.
2012.
Released in 2012. It's an action adventure. Platforms. So PS3.
It's a PS3.
Yeah, it was on PS3, Xbox
Borderlands.
360.
Borderland? Borderland. That's what your sister's saying. See if she's the true gamer.
No, it's how do you spell border? It's
Border.
it's Borderland
Borderlands.
2
She's saying Borderlands with an S.
lands. Is it
Yeah.
1 or 2? Joanne, you gotta tell me before I click it.
Oh.
So Borderlands 1 or 2?
Doesn't come back yet.
Well, you got two guesses.
Yeah, right.
Hold on. Oh wait, it's probably 1. We got to wait. There's that little bit of delay with the live chat. So we're going to go with Borderlands. All right, here we go. Last guess. Borderlands is wrong.
Not sure which one she said.
Arcane Studios. Maybe it's Borderlands 2. I'll try Borderlands 2. How about that? Try it. That looked like Wolfenstein, but maybe not. No, I don't look like
No, Tim Wolfenstein.
Oh, better luck next time. Dishonored.
Honored.
Dishonored. All right. So, all right. Well, that was Aubyns. Guess
one
the
more.
game. Wait.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was replay previous days.
Yeah, so you could go back, Dave, and play different games.
Different games. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What was our next site here, which was Retail Me Not.
Retail. Yeah. Now
hey,
this one I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was good too.
This one was pretty neat for giving
I know
you.
the site.
Oh, you know the site? Okay.
Yeah. I can give you a couple Canadian ones that are similar too, if you want.
I would never spend that much extra money to buy something out of Canada.
Listen to you, hush.
Loonies, toonies, you guys don't even know how money works. You know. This one here, it has. Well, you're not going to see the same deals I see.
No.
But here in the States, it gives you. You can like I know I saw like 50% off your order at Domino's and the other pizza places. I couldn't believe that. That you get that much off. But they have some pretty good deals.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Let me see what pizzapizza.ca. We can do some starting. Okay. So Retail Me Not. You may want to check that out. It's a site. I mean, in the States, I use Slick Deals. I mean, that was my bread and
Slick
butter.
Deals is good.
Slickdeals.net. But
yeah,
I haven't found too many good sites like this in Canada yet. You said you got a couple there. Next level.
Yeah, you got Bargain Moose.
Moose.
Something Canuck. Red Flag Deals. There's something Canuck too. Let me see if I can remember it.
Oh, okay. I might have to.
SmartCanucks.ca.
Saw that, right?
Smart Canucks. Okay.
So Bargain Moose, Smart Canucks, Red Flag Deals. Those are the three for Canada.
Okay.
All right. Nice. Okay. All right. Awesome.
Anything to save you Canadians some money, Alright.
What do you got? Another dog? How many dogs you
You got
got?
2?
Well,
Oh.
we rescue animals too. So
Oh, that's great.
there's 3 resident dogs, 2 resident cats, a gecko and a bunny, and then there's
Oh.
2 rescue kittens, and then we're rehoming another dog.
Oh, that's good.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome
That
work
is.
because it's neat to have that kind of
Uh-huh.
somebody that does stuff like that.
We don't do it on purpose.
My cat's bigger than that dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the
DJ's
last
got a
dog
big
that we
cat.
rescued that is staying here now is 90 pounds, but I can't put her on the desk.
No.
I had a topic I wanted to bring up with you there.
Yeah.
Okay.
With you guys. You know the whole mishap with Rogers and how the whole country went down?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
That
they're
was
in the
your
news.
fault? You trying to,
Yeah, it was
steal
my
so
fault.
much
It was all my
power?
fault.
Yeah.
It was all my fault. But they're coming in with a deal today, starting today, where you get Apple TV for free for 3 months. But the catch has me a little salty. I feel like it should just be a thing that advertises their union with Apple TV. The catch is you need to have their internet as well as their Ignite cable service.
What? So you got a cable and internet.
Yep, you got to have cable and internet, and then they'll give you Apple TV for free for 3 months.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
Not me.
I feel like after everything people went through with them being shutting down the whole country for a week,
Mm-hmm.
you could have just said, instead of giving everybody a credit, we'll give you Apple
Right.
TV for free for a
Right.
month or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For the folks that are not in Canada, when Rogers went down, it was a couple days on some some folks that there had like no cell, no internet, no nothing. Like everything was down. So it depends on where your internet provider, your phone provider, because they are the biggest. If I'm not mistaken, Next Level, they are the biggest communications provider in the country, aren't they? I mean, because you got Bell.
So Bell is the oldest, but
Okay.
when Rogers came around, they became the biggest because they attacked all the companies. And they signed all the deals with the organizations so that they solely dealt with Rogers. And that's when we had issues with companies that should have had redundancies. They put all of their service based on Rogers. So you weren't even able to access your banks. All the banks were down.
Yeah.
All the transferring of money didn't exist. ATMs were down. Everything was down.
Yep. Yeah, I'm looking at So I'm looking at Rogers. So for you folks that are about bundles, 6-month bundle of Disney Plus on us, so it's on them. So for the Ignite TV and your internet together is $124 a month. So
Hey,
Flex.
aside from all that,
Flex-
hold on.
Flex
What kind of
10.
speed you guys getting on your internet?
Well, this gives up to a gigabit down. So they're
Okay.
offering.
Where I'm at right now, my speed is 1.6 gigabytes a second down and 1 gig up.
Okay. All right.
Now
But
I
How
will.
much you paying for that there?
That's not normal. What I have here is not normal.
Oh, I can tell that. But no, because I get 1.5 up and down.
That's really good.
Yeah, and that's $89 a month. Thank you.
Yeah, 89.
Verizon.
Yeah, I mean, there is some other parties. I mean, I have Cogeco, but there is other companies that you can go with here. I will say when I was in the States, you maybe have 2 options. I mean, maybe. Here there is multiple options I can go with because I can do up to a gig up and down, and it would run me a little over $100 a month.
I'm on it. I've just gone over to a 5G network.
Oh,
and I get the lowest I've had is a 560 megabytes download. Upload is only a 30 megabytes upload. So, but I'm not worried. But it's just on a 5G network, and that's £10 a month.
Not bad.
for the first 6 months. Then after
Yeah.
that, it goes to 20.
It's still not bad though.
So it's
20.
still not bad. 20
That's
20
cheap.
UK pounds a month.
Yeah. So yeah, with Rogers going down, I remember when it happened. I mean, even though we weren't Rogers, our TV didn't go down, our internet didn't go down, but the banks. I know I couldn't get any money from the ATMs. When you went to the grocery store, everyone who uses cash anymore, everyone's
Mhm.
tap or using your bank card. None of those would work.
So you people couldn't do much of nothing.
Yeah.
We know what happens with that here in New York.
What happens?
It's a riot. Okay, they are gonna just take everything out of your store. I'm dead serious. It's a shame. Like when we had Irene and the gas. No one could get gas.
Mhm.
It's a mob scene. As shameful as it is. Because people don't carry cash. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let me go ahead. We're gonna roll because we're at 2 hours, so we gotta get up out of
Before we
here.
do before we do
Oh
that, real
wait.
quick.
Oh yeah. Never mind.
Yeah,
Aubyns.
yeah. Hold on. We
The
got
the
fights.
things fights happening this weekend. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. We have Cage Fury. Uh, that's tonight. Prelims at 7. The main card at 9. Um, we have Fame MMA. Friday night tonight at 2 p.m. We missed that one already because that was from Poland.
Yep. And the
Um,
one was earlier today too.
yeah, yeah.
That was
One.
one was on 8. That was AM.
You
That was
sure?
AM.
You
Yeah.
sure that was AM? Okay.
Yeah,
Um.
that was an A because that's the one that's in it's in Asia.
Okay. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Because they do that. The straight up kickboxing also. LFA 140. Tonight at 9 p.m. They're in North Dakota. We have the ACA 143. That's tomorrow at 10 a.m. out of Russia.
Yep.
Boxing tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. out of Oklahoma. There's no UFC tomorrow night, so so you guys know.
Yay.
Maybe we could host something in a room and play. Maybe we'll just play the rough and rowdy and no, but everyone who has it seen it
Yeah,
in
because we talked about
in
maybe
VR, right?
hosting it. Well, we
In
You
talked
could
about possibly doing it in Telegram.
yeah,
you could
yeah.
you
We'll
could
hold
al-
off on that.
you could always play Game of Thrones House of the Dragon in the
Yeah,
room.
Yeah,
yeah.
but that's just well,
That's already out there,
it's only one episode.
Yeah.
Hey,
Critique
there
it the
might be
whole time.
when's it, could be a new episode drop soon. You don't know.
None this
Yeah.
so yeah, that's preseason football is on this
Yeah.
weekend. College
Hmm.
football starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
So for you college football, I know I saw there's not a ton of games tomorrow, but I want to say it looked like about 10 or 12 games tomorrow.
Okay.
And then
Are you
the
got
next week will be full.
okay? Are you want to watch those in VR or you guys looking to
I got
do
stuff to do
your
tomorrow.
20 games? Okay. All right.
I got stuff.
So do I. But
I got business to handle tomorrow.
okay. Okay. I don't know
Yeah.
if Beach is looking to watch a million games
I know him
or
and
not.
Roger they do want to host some games. So
Yeah.
we'll see. So all
I
right.
know
So that's
Chuck
all I'm
wants
gonna have.
to come in and watch some games.
Yeah, I know he
He
does.
loves sports so
He
much.
loves sports.
Yeah.
He loves some sports. So
Chuck's a massive fan if it's got women in it.
yeah, I do know that there is a definite. There was some wrestling on this weekend, so that's about every weekend. So
Yeah.
you'll find that. So we'll go ahead and we're finished. We'll start with next level. Anything you want to say before we roll out of here, bud?
So I have gone a long period without uploading any videos on my YouTube channel because it's been very difficult to find a way of pivoting my channel. This year, my channel has gotten well over 5 strikes, and you know the deal. Once you have 3, your channel's deleted. So I've been tippy toeing around that. Recently, I've pivoted to just streaming news, and that's all I'm doing. And in the last 30 days, I've done over 33 videos. So I'm trying to be consistent, and I'm trying to pump out as much content as I can. And it's really short videos, usually about 5 minutes long, just about an article a day. And that's what I'm putting out. So if you're looking to keep up to date with some of that stuff, that's what I'm putting out on my own channel. I do also work with Rojas on Beyond the Streams. So that's another YouTube channel and a podcast that we do 3 episodes a week on there. So I'm putting out something like 10 episodes a week if you want to combine them.
Busy man.
Yeah, but that being said, I came on here because I do enjoy the conversations that we have with all of you guys. I do watch your show when I can behind the scenes, and I'm happy to actually be able to catch the show live and be a part of it today. So thank you.
Major thumbs up. Thanks for hitting me up, because panel is always open for folks that want to jump on here. I love having people that's got some knowledge and to be able to share some experience, because it's always good to have it. DJ, thanks for joining me. Anything you want to say before we roll out, or anything's going on?
No. Just thanks for having me on. I've got nothing going on at the moment. I'm sort of like semi-retired.
It's good. It's good to be retired.
Well, I'm sort of like semi-retired. I don't do the themes, but I'm still fingers in the pies. Are still doing other stuff, as you know, in the background.
Yeah.
I did other stuff in the background. I don't want to say too much. It's
Yeah,
more
I
on
gotcha.
It's more on the K side, but
Yeah,
as you know,
Yep.
he knows a lot. You know a lot of people.
Yes.
You keep busy. Aubyns, anything you want to say before we go?
Thank you, everyone. Next level, DJ. Thanks for coming out. Next level. Hey, at least you're not in the YouTube boat I'm in. You know that, because I can't even. You know,
They deleted
they
his
don't
account.
even want to they just they just said, screw him. You know, he ain't never coming back.
Wow.
You know, at least one thing I gotta say for today is that we didn't have our friend. Naked. Hey, we're at the end of the show. Come on.
I kept on reporting him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I kept on reporting him as abusive.
Okay.
That's why he's probably disappeared. He probably got fed up of
Useful
being
and
reported.
harmful.
Yeah.
That was harmful, dangerous.
Yeah.
As YouTube would say, that's harmful and dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Maybe they'll put a second strike on my name somehow.
Every time I deleted his message, tabs were deleted after me.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to catch up and what's going on.
Yeah.
So if you guys have not subscribed, Next Level, definitely check out down here, Next Level's channel, and he does lots of great content, lots of good information. I follow a lot of people, and he is one of those people that I follow and I listen to because he has a lot of knowledge, and I'm definitely honored for that. He jumped on here to share a little bit. I know that when we talked about Bitcoin, I knew he was chomping at the bit, because that's one of his passions.
That's his baby.
So that's great to have him. So thank you. Be sure to subscribe to him. DJ, who works behind the scenes, his themes, maybe he's not updated them, but your themes are still up, right? You can download the Wizard.
Yeah, they're still available. They're still available for 19. The repository works on 20.
Okay.
The actual themes do work on 20, but use one specific section that actually doesn't work, and that's the submenu. You have to go into the skin and tell it to show the submenu.
Okay. Right.
If it's hidden, if you scroll down you're not going to see it. Even if you scroll down, you have to go into the skin and tell it to show the submenu, and it'll show it. It's something that I've got to look into on what is actually going wrong there.
Well, hopefully not many people are using 20, because it's really not ready for the majority of people. If you're a heavy enthusiast, sure, but that's a very small percentage of us. should be messing with 20.
But it's
So.
it's like you say, it's there.
Mhm.
My repo is exactly the same as Chuck's. Never had a problem. Never had a
Yep.
problem.
Yep.
It's like I say, from 16 to 17 to 18 to 19, I've never had to do a specific update and make it work. It's automatically worked. So
good. So definitely check out his, and it's again with themes. Aubyns, thank you for hanging with us, and
Anytime, brother.
sorry,
getting,
Todd. I was
yeah.
actually going to say 18s
Oh.
as well. 18 themes are still out there as well. So if people still want to use 18 themes, and I think there's 189 of them on the Wizard. So
and again, his themes are not builds; they are themes. So it's the skin with all the extras. So that's we've talked about that in the other shows where he's been on, because some people think it's a full build. It's not a full build; it's a theme. So it's basically a skin with a lot of extras. Things have been changed. It looks a little bit differently, but you got to add all the add-ons. You got to install all that stuff yourself. They are not pre-installed. So
you have to do all the third-party stuff yourself.
Yeah. You don't do none of that stuff. So.
No.
But yeah, I'm looking through there. It's great to see everybody. So I'm gonna go ahead and run out of here. It's time for my dinner. And so thanks for everyone joining us. We'll see you all later. Streaming matters to us. Look at there's the other dog. Streaming matters to us because streaming matters to you guys. And we'll see you all